Happy morning, students. Welcome to grade 6 English class. Children, today we are going to learn our fifth prose, a different kind of school. Look at the title, children. A different, D-I-F-F-E-R-E-N-T, different kind, K-I-N-D, kind of school. A different kind of school. This is our fifth chapter, prose. Before entering into the concept, that is the story, we shall have a look on the author of this prose, a different kind of school. Look at this image, children. He is Mr. Edward Verrall Lucas. In a short form, we can name him as E.V. Lucas. He is the author of our prose, a different kind of school. He was born on 11th June 1868. He was an English humorist, biographer, poet, novelist, short story writer and editor. He was a prolific writer, best known for his short essays. He also produced novels and plays, and he was died on 26th June 1938. Mr. E.V. Lucas is the author of the prose, a different kind of school. Children, the lesson, a different kind of school. The title itself we can know that the concept, that is the process fully about a school and how the school is different, that we are going to learn in this prose. This lesson is a message about how doing simple things can make learning more interesting and easier. Learning while doing is the best way to learn different things. Moreover, other than learning routine things, we need to make ourselves aware and concerned about our environment and its problems. How we can be more responsible and our citizens. To know this, let's read this lesson, a different kind of school. Children, now let's enter into this prose, a different kind of school. So listen, children, the title itself, the concept, that is the prose is entirely about the school, about a school and how the school is different from other school. How the teachers and other members who are working in the school make the children to become a different personalities in the society. Now look at the first paragraph, children. I had heard a great deal about Miss Beam's school, but not till last week did the chance come to visit it. So listen, children, the first paragraph. Here I had heard. Here I refers to the narrator. Here I refers to the narrator. I had heard a great deal. That is, a great deal means to a great extent. To a great extent. Deal means to a great extent about Miss Beam's school. This school, that is a different kind of school. Here we are going to learn about Miss Beam's school. How the school is running. How Miss Beam is taking care of their children. But not till last week did the chance come to visit. Till last week there is no chance for the author, that is a narrator, to have a visit for the school. But today he has a visit. That is, today he are going to have a look on the school and how the school is different from other school. He wants to know everything about Miss Beam's school. I had heard a great extent. That is a great deal means great extent, that the narrator has heard about know about Miss Beam's school and how she improves her school. But till last week, the narrator doesn't have a chance to enter into the school, whereas today he got a chance to visit the school. The narrator is saying that he had heard a lot about Miss Beam's school, but he got a chance to visit it in this week only. So listen children, he doesn't have a chance to visit the school, but now he has got a chance to visit Miss Beam's school. He wants to know how the school is running, how Miss Beam takes care of the children. When I arrived, there was no one in sight but a girl of about 12. When our narrator enters into Miss Beam's school, he found nobody is there, whereas he saw a girl of about 12. So listen children, when the narrator entered into Miss Beam's school, there was nobody there, and then he found a girl, that is a small girl, nearly 12 of age. Her eyes were covered with a bandage, means she had a blindfold on her eyes, and she was being led carefully between the flower buds by a little boy who was about 4 years younger. She stopped, and it looked like she asked him who had come. He seemed to be describing me to her. Then they passed on. When the narrator reached the school, no one was there except a 12 years old girl. Her eyes were covered with a bandage, and a 4 years boy was guiding her between flower buds. She stopped as if to ask who had come. It seemed that he explained the visitors' details to her. Then they passed on. Listen children, first for our narrator, there is no chance to visit Miss Beam's school. Then he got a chance to visit Miss Beam's school. He entered the school, but there was no one in the front of the school. And then he entered somewhat inside. He saw a 12-year girl who was covered with a bandage in her eyes. And then he found a 4 years boy who was guiding the girl to walk between flower beds. And the girl stopped and asked to the boy, that is a 4-year boy, that who has entered into the school. And the boy explained that some visitor has entered into our school. And then the boy and the girl passed on the way. Now look at the next paragraph children. Miss Beam was all that I had expected, middle-aged, full of authority, yet kindly and understanding. Her hair was beginning to turn grey, and she had the kind of plump figure that is a pleasantly fat, somewhat fat figure that is likely to be comforting to a homesick child. I asked her some questions about her teaching methods, which I had heard were simple. As per the narrator's expectations, Miss Beam was middle-aged, dominating, yet friendly and understanding. Her hair was turning grey. She was fat and probably was trying to make a homesick child feel at ease. The author questioned her about the simple methods she used for teaching. Listen children, as the narrator, that is our narrator, expectation was how Miss Beam's appearance was. Miss Beam was a middle-aged person, that is a middle-aged lady, dominating yet friendly. Her character was friendly, that is a kindly. She was kind to everyone. Our narrator's expectation was that is Miss Beam was middle-aged, whereas she was very kind person, a friendly person, and understanding about others' thoughts. And her hair was turning grey. Miss Beam's hair was turning grey. She was fat. Miss Beam was somewhat fat and probably was trying to make a homesick child feel at ease. The author questioned her. The author, our narrator, questioned Miss Beam about the simple methods used for teaching. Our narrator heard that Miss Beam used very simple method of teaching, whereas he wants to clarify his doubt with Miss Beam, and he asked Miss Beam about the simple methods used for teaching. What are the methods followed in her school to, that is in teaching? While teaching, what are the methods are followed in Miss Beam's school? He wants to know everything from Miss Beam. Now look at the next paragraph, children. No more than is needed to help them to learn how to do things. Simple spelling, adding, subtracting, multiplying and writing. The rest is done by reading to them and by interesting talks during which they have to sit still and keep their hands quiet. There were practically no other lessons. Miss Beam's reply was that in her school they taught simply by helping them to learn simple spellings, adding, subtracting, multiplying and writing skills. The rest of the learning was done by reading to them and conducting interesting talks during which they were supposed to sit silently without moving. Except this, there were actually no other lessons. Here listen children, that is our narrator needs the detail of Miss Beam's school and about her teaching. He asked everything about, that is to Miss Beam. She replied that in her school they taught simply a simple method of teaching by helping the students to learn simple spellings, adding, subtraction and then multiplying and writing skills. For the rest of the learning was done by reading to them and conducting interesting talks when they sit silently without moving. We are supposed to sit, the students can sit in a place, that is, we are supposed to sit silently without moving. Except this, there were no other lessons in her school. Now look at the fifth paragraph, children. The real aim of the school is not so much to teach, taught us to teach thoughtfulness, kindness to others, and being responsible citizens. Look out of the window a minute, will you? Further, she added that the actual aim of the school was to teach thoughtfulness to the students, to make them sensibly kind and concerned towards others, and to awaken them to their duties. Then she asked the narrator to look out of the window. Listen children, our narrator asked and gathered the information about Miss Beam's school, and the lady, that is Miss Beam, said that in her school she added the actual aim. She said that the actual aim of this school was to teach thoughtfulness. First of all, to teach thoughtfulness to the students and to make them sensibly a kind person, a friendly student to others, concerned towards others, and to awaken them to their duties. They have to know their duties. What are the responsibilities? The students have to analyze their responsibility, and they should be kind to everyone. They should know about their duties. They should be thoughtfulness to the, that is to teach thoughtfulness to the students and to make them sensibly kind and concerned to others, and to awaken their duties. And finally, Miss Beam asked the narrator to look out of the window for a minute. Now look at the sixth paragraph, children. I went to the window which overlooked a large garden and a playground at the back. What do you see? Miss Beam asked. The narrator went to the window and viewed a large garden and a playground. Miss Beam asked him what he was able to see. Look at this, children. Miss Beam explained what are the teachings and how they teach to the students in her school, and she explained everything to the narrator, and she asked the narrator to look out the window for a minute. The narrator also went to the window and viewed a large garden. He found a large garden and a playground through the window. Miss B asked to the narrator that what he was able to see. Now look at the next paragraph, children. That is seventh paragraph. I see some very beautiful grounds, I said, and a lot of jolly children. It pains me, though, to see that they are not all so healthy and active looking. When I came in, I saw one poor little girl being led about. She has some trouble with her eyes. Now I can see two more with the same difficulty, and there's a girl with a crutch watching the others at play. She seems to be a hopeless cripple. Look at this, children. Cripple means that is disabled person, we can say. She seems to be a hopeless cripple means disabled. The narrator explained what all he was able to see: beautiful grounds, many cheerful children. He was sad to notice some children who were not very healthy and active. After coming in, he noticed a girl who had trouble with her eyes. Then he observed two more with the same kind of disability. He also noticed a girl with a crutch who was watching the other children at play. Perhaps she was lame. When the narrator saw through the window, he found a girl who had trouble with her eyes, and then he observed two more with the same kind of disability. Our narrator has also noticed a girl who was watching the other children at play. Perhaps she was lame. L-A-M-E. Lame means the person who was disabled in walking. That is, who can't walk properly like us. How we will say as a deaf and dumb. The same way, the person who can't walk with their own is named as lame. L-A-M-E. Lame. Now look at the next paragraph, children. Miss Beam laughed. Oh no, she said. She's not really lame. This is only her lame day. The others are not blind either. It is only their blind day. I must have looked very surprised, for she laughed again. That is, lame day means a day on which she acts as if she was lame. Lame means a person who can't walk by themselves, as lame. And the lame day means a day on which the person acts as if he or she was lame, acts like a lame. And then blind day means the same way, the day, blind day means the day on which he or she acts like a blind. Miss Beam laughed and explained that she was not lame, rather it was her lame day. The others are also not blind but are observing their blind day. She laughed again at him, that is at the author. So listen children, the students were not lame or blind, but they are celebrating or they are enjoying their lame day and blind day. The person who acts as a lame on a particular day, so that day is mentioned as lame day. And same way, a day on which the person acts as he or she was blind, so that day is considered as blind day. So the children were not lame or blind. Now look at the 9th paragraph children. This is a very important part of our system. To make our children appreciate and understand misfortune, we make them share in misfortune too. That is, misfortune means unfortunate condition, a bad luck. You can say as a bad luck. Misfortune means there is no luck for the day or for the process. There is no luck for the person. Each term, every child has one blind day, one lame day, one deaf day, one injured day, and one dumb day. During the blind day, their eyes are bandaged absolutely, and they are on their honor not to peep. The bandage is put on overnight, so they wake blind. This means that they need help with everything. Other children are given the duty of helping them and leading them about. They all learn so much this way, both the blind and the helpers. Miss Beam explained that to make their children accept and understand misfortune, that is bad luck, to understand about bad luck with the same mind as fortune, they have made such activities an essential part of their system. Each term, every child is supposed to observe one blind day, one lame day, one deaf day, one injured day, and one dumb day. On blind day, their eyes are blindfolded and they promise that day not to peep at all, and this is done overnight so that they wake up in a blind like condition and get help for everything they do. Other children have the duty to help and guide them. This way, both the blind and the helpers learn a lot of things. Miss Beam explained about the blind day, that is a deaf day, injured day, blind day, lame day, everything to the narrator. And she explained that what do you mean by blind day? On the blind day, the boy or girl will blindfolded eyes, her eyes are blindfolded, and they promise, and the student will promise that they do not peep at all, and for the whole night the person should be behave like a blind, so that they wake up like a blind like condition, and the person he or she should get help for everything from others. The other children have to help, the other children have the duty to help them or help the blind person and guide them. This was both the blind and the helpers learn a lot of things. Now look at the 10th paragraph children. There is no mystery about it. Miss Beam continued. That is, mystery means difficulty. There is no difficulty about it. Miss Beam continued. Everyone is very kind and it is really something of a game. Before the day is over, though even the most thoughtless child realizes what misfortune is. That is, misfortune means bad luck. What is the bad luck is? Every child will realize it. Miss Beam further said that what this type of a game, even a very careless child learns to be responsible at the end of the day. The blind day is, of course, really the worst. But some of the children tell me that the dumb day is the most difficult. We cannot bandage the children's mouths, so they really have to exercise their willpower. Come into the garden and see yourself how the children feel about it. No doubt that blind day was the worst, but according to some children, the dumb day was the most difficult as mouths could not be bandaged. The children had to use their willpower in that case. Then she took him to the garden to let him to watch the children and their feelings himself. Listen children, our narrator wants the details about the deaf day and the blind day. Here Miss Beam explained him that the blind day was the worst day when compared to other days, whereas some children said that the dumb day was the most difficult. Dumb means the person who can't speak. So that is mentioned as dumb, and the day for the whole day on which the person acts as a dumb is mentioned as dumb day. So the children said that the dumb day was the most difficult as they could not bandage their mouth. So then she, that is Miss Beam, took our narrator to the garden and let him to watch the children and their feelings by himself. Now look at the 12th paragraph children. Miss Beam led me to one of the bandaged girls. Here's a gentleman come to talk to you, said Miss Beam and left us. So listen here children. That is, Miss Beam took the narrator to the bandaged girls and after introducing to them, she left them. She left the place and she went to do her work. Miss Beam took the narrator to the bandaged girls and after introducing our narrator to the children, she left the place. Now look at the 13th paragraph children. Don't you ever peep? I asked the girl. Oh no, she exclaimed. That would be cheating. But I had no idea it was so awful. Awful means bad. Bad. The meaning of awful is bad to be blind. But I had no idea it was so bad to be blind. You can't see a thing. You feel you are going to be hit by something every moment. It's such a relief just to sit down. Are your helpers kind to you? I asked. The narrator asked the girl if she ever tried to look out. The girl replied that it would be cheating. Before this experience, she never realized that being blind was that bad. One was not able to see anything, and every step one fears of being hit by something. Just sitting down was a comfort. And the narrator asked that the helpers are kind to you. And the girl replied that the helpers were very kind to her. Now look at the next paragraph children. Fairly, but they are not as careful as I shall be when it is my turn. Those that have been blind already are the best helpers. It's perfectly ghastly not to see. That is, ghastly means causing fear. That is, giving fear. It's perfectly causing fear not to see. I wish you would try. Shall I let you anywhere? I asked. The narrator further asked her if her helpers were kind. Her response was positive, but according to her, the intensity of help and care was lesser. She would be a better helper during her turn. As per her statement, people who had experienced the blindness become better helpers as they were able to understand their position. The inability to see was scary and full of fear. Then he asked her if he could show her the way and help her to go anywhere. Now look at the 15th paragraph, children. Oh, yes, she said. Let's go for a little walk. Only you must tell me about things. I shall be so glad when today is over. The other bad days can't be half as bad as this. Having a leg tied up and hopping about on a crutch is almost fun, I guess. Having an arm tied up is a bit more troublesome because you can't eat without help and things like that. I don't think I will mind being deaf for a day, at least not much. But being blind is so frightening. My head aches all the time just from worrying that I will get hurt. Where are we now? She replied in acceptance and suggested to go for a walk. She also asked him to tell about things. She said that she would be full of joy once the day is over. She further said that even the bad days would be half as bad than to be blind. In her opinion, other things were fun, like to have a leg tied up and jump on a support. Having an arm tied up was still annoying as it was difficult to eat without help and so on. She said that she would not mind to be deaf for a day, but being blind actually scared her. It troubles her mind with the fear that she would get hurt. In the playground, I said, we are walking towards the house. Miss Beam is walking up and down the garden with a tall girl. What is the girl wearing? My little friend asked. A blue cotton skirt and a pink blouse. I think it's Millie. She said. What color is her hair? Very light, I said. Yes, that's Millie. She is the head girl. That's an old man tying up roses, I said. Yes, that's Peter. He is the gardener. He is hundreds of years old. And here comes a girl with curly red hair. She's on crutches. That's Anita, she said. The narrator told her that they were in the playground and were walking towards the house. Miss Beam was walking up and down the garden with a tall girl. The little girl called the narrator and asked what dress the tall girl was wearing. He explained to her the details of the dress, a blue cotton skirt and a pink blouse. She further inquired the color of her hair, and knowing that the light color of her hair, she guessed her to be Millie, the head girl. The narrator told that an old man was tying up roses. She responded that he was Peter, 100 years old gardener. Then a girl with curly red hair was crossed. She told that she was Anita. The narrator realized that he became more thoughtful and sensitive towards the issue of disability. Now look at the last paragraph, children. And so we walked on. Gradually I discovered that I was 10 times more thoughtful than I ever thought I could be. I also realized that if I had to describe people and things to someone else, it made them more interesting to me. When I finally had to leave, I told Miss Beam that I was very sorry to go. Oh, she replied, then there is something in my system after all. When our narrator was leaving, he told Miss Beam that he felt sorry to leave her school. She was delighted to realize that her system of teaching was effective. Finally, our narrator understood that the real aim of Miss Beam's school was not much to teach as to teach thoughtfulness, kindness to others, and being responsible citizens. Children, now look at the D words of the prose, a different kind of school. Great deal, that is, great deal means to a great extent. Here in our story, our narrator had heard more extent, there is a great extent about Miss Beam's school. He heard, that is, he had heard a great deal. Great deal means to a great extent. The narrator heard a great extent about Miss Beam's school. So that is known as great deal. Next one, insight. Insight means that is to be seen. That is visually seen means insight means to be seen in visual. When the narrator entered the school, there was no one in sight. That is, no one to be seen in the school. Next one, kindly. Kindly means a friendly behavior. Kindly means friendly. Next one, plump. P-L-U-M-P. Plump means you can say as a stout or pleasantly fat. When the narrator saw the girl, that is a lady Miss Beam, her appearance was pleasantly fat. She was somewhat fat lady. Now look at the next one, children. Still, S-T-I-L-L. Still means without moving. Standing from the same place. It is not moving from place to place. Standing at a same place without moving. Next one, overlooked. Have a view of something from above and an outer look. Have a view of something from above and overlook. Overlook means have a view of something from above. That is not standing in the same place when you are looking out in a different way. And what is it about? That is overlooked. Overlooked means have a view of something from above. A overview. We can say as a overlook means a overview of something which we are expecting. What is thing about? That is overview. And now look at the summary of the prose, a different kind of school. The narrator had heard a lot of good things about Miss Beam and her school. Miss Beam was known for using simple teaching methods in perfect way. Listen children, first our narrator wants to know about Miss Beam and her school. Miss Beam was known for using simple teaching. She was well famous for simple way of teaching, that is simple teaching methods in a perfect way. Her teaching was very simple but it is in a very perfect way. The narrator visited the school. He posed some questions to the teacher. She told him that she thought nothing special but simple calculations and writing. The boys and girls were taught how to do things independently without any help. Few things were read to them. Interesting talks were held to raise their interest. Our narrator entered Miss Beam's school, and he asked some questions to the teacher. She told him that she thought nothing special, but she thought some simple calculations such as addition, subtraction, and also some writing skill. The boys and girls were taught how to do their own things independently without any help, and few things were read to them. Interesting talks were held to raise their interest. Interesting talks were held to raise their interest. Main aim and objective of the school was to make students more thoughtful and responsible citizens. Miss Beam replied that their aim of the school was to make students more thoughtful and to make them a responsible citizen. The narrator went to the school gardens, which were beautifully maintained. There he noticed a poor little girl being helped by a boy. He also saw a girl with a crutch. He thought the one was blind and the other was lame. Listen children, the narrator went to the school, that is Miss Beam's school gardens, which were beautifully maintained. The garden of the school were beautifully maintained, and our narrator noticed a poor girl who was being helped by a little boy, and also he saw a girl with a crutch. He thought that one was blind and the other was lame. A girl was lame. So listen children, a girl who can't walk is mentioned as lame, and a girl who can't see things is mentioned as, that is, blind. So blind, he saw a blind girl and a lame, that is a girl with a crutch. But Miss Beam explained that the school observes one blind, one lame, one deaf, one injured, and one dumb day for every child in a term. These activities make the children more thoughtful and concerned. Listen children, when our narrator entered into the school, he saw a blind girl and a girl who, that is a lame girl who can't walk by herself. With the help of a stick, she can walk. But Miss Beam explained that the school observes one blind day, one lame day, one deaf day, and one injured day, and one dumb day for every child in a term. That is, a lamp day means a day on which he or she acts as if she was lame. She can't walk. She just acts like a lame. So that day is mentioned as lame day. So these activities make the children more thoughtful and concerned. On the blind day, eyes were bandaged of one child, and other children helped the blind throughout the day. Listen children, the child who acts as a blind for that blind day will act as a blind, and other children help the blind throughout the day. This game became a great learning for both the blind and their helpers. One child will act as a blind, and the other children will help the blind, who is acting as a blind. That is mentioned as helpers. So this game became a great learning for both the blind and their helpers. Thereafter, Miss Beam took the narrator to one of the bandaged girls. The girl shared her feelings and learning with him. Miss Beam took the narrator to the girl who acted as a blind. The girl shared her feelings and learning with the narrator. She related how she felt scared of being hit at every moment, and this feeling was the most painful one. After this experience, the narrator realized that he had also developed a concerned attitude towards the disabled. Listen children, the girl shared her feelings and learning with the narrator. She related how she felt and scared of being hit because her eyes were tied up. At every moment he may hit at any place, and this feeling was the most painful one. After this experience, that is after this, when the narrator heard these words from the girl, he realized that he had also developed a concerned attitude towards the disabled person. Told Miss Beam that he was sorry to leave her school. She felt happy to know that the system in her school was good and her teaching style and way of imparting values was marvelous. So finally it's the time to leave the school. So our narrator told Miss Beam that he was sorry to leave her school. Miss Beam felt happy to know that the system in her school was good and her teaching style and way of imparting value was marvelous. So, our narrator gave a good thought and a good suggestion about Miss Beam's school, and she felt that her teaching style and way of imparting values was marvelous, or can say as wonderful. Children, take your book, that is Honeysuckle Unit 5 Prose, a different kind of score. Learn read the prose thoroughly, and then you have to take down the keywords and question answer in your classwork notebook. Learn and write. When you are writing, spell it and write. Mention the date, write it neatly, children. After completing your classwork notebook, take a photocopy and send it to me. Thank you.